to hear that news of you have cancer and to just try to understand, okay, what's next? The sickness, losing the hair, every day kind of getting up and, the kids, caring for them and understanding what they're needing, but keeping everything moving forward. Okay, I can do this. I'm not sure how, but I'm going to. I know I have to.
Hello!
Debbie was just a total amazing gal, one of a kind.
What a fun trip!
We were married for 44 years. She was a force to be reckoned with. She had some soreness on her breast. So they did a mammogram in February of 22. And hard to believe it was negative. It didn't show anything. The ultrasound showed a mass about 2.5 centimeters. When that diagnosis first hit her, there's a certain amount of disbelief that goes on. She got kind of defiant about it. Debbie died on January 12th. There's just no way that she's not pulling strings to make all this stuff on Earth happen. I totally believe it, as crazy as that might sound.
Told by my doctor once that as long as you have breasts, you should have a mammogram.
It takes 15 minutes to get a mammogram, and that 15 minutes can be the difference in between not having a life moving forward and the end of life.
You don't need to be a walker or runner. We just want you to come down, celebrate Komen's mission. Celebratory, it's uplifting, it's engaging, it's community in the best sense of the word.
And welcome into the 2024 Northwest Ohio Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure coverage here on WTOL 11. You are looking down on the starting line of our race this morning at the intersection of Summit and Monroe on what has turned into a very pleasant, it's not fantastic. We have had years where the weather has been meticulous. This morning, one of those mornings where the clouds are winning out. However, it is a very comfortable fall morning in downtown Toledo. Great to be with you. I'm Jeff Smith, along with Kaylee Marintet here in downtown Toledo, getting ready for the 31st edition of what has become a tradition for so many in Northwest Ohio and Southeast Michigan.
Yeah, we are definitely excited to be here with you. We are WTOL 11 team has you covered from all angles of this race. We want to talk about who is going to be joining us throughout the day. We have Kaylee Bowers joining us. She is going to be giving us a look at weather and what's going on with the race. We have Megan Hartnett, who's roaming around, going to talk to some of the racers, where you can find mammograms, all the extracurriculars that come along with the Komen Race this year. We also have Dan Cummins, who's, he's Dan Cummins. He's going to do his thing. He's going to be talking to everybody and anybody he can get his hands on. We also have Tim Miller and Kaylee Kirby, our morning team, here with us, who is going to help us kick things off. Tim and Kaylee, how you doing?
We are doing great, Kaylee and Jeff. Thanks so much. We're excited to be here in downtown Toledo. Kaylee and I are here at where the race will be starting here at Summit and Monroe. And Kaylee, we don't have the runners and walkers in place for the 5K just yet. We know they're doing warm-ups right now, not too far from us at Hensville, but the anticipation's building right now.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of people coming in already, so we know it's going to be a fun time. I'm really excited because this is my first time actually being out here. I'm usually in studio helping with all of the coverage. coverage. So it'll be a little bit of a different experience, but every single year that I've been able to watch it, it's really been a lot of fun. You see all of the people that come together to support the survivors and the people who are currently going through treatment and chemo and all of that. So.
And right away when you see someone wearing pink, that means they're a survivor. They're fighting this or they've defeated that battle. So it's great to see the inspiration. We know the Northview cheerleaders are here as well, as they always are every year. So we're looking forward to when this race gets started at 9:30 this morning. But we're going to bring you everything leading up to that too.
Yeah, so let's check in right now with Kaylee Bowers and see how things are going. Where are you at, Kaylee, and what are you seeing?
Yeah, hey there, Kaylee and Tim. Right now, we are at the corner of Sinclair and Monroe at the watch party. Things are really starting to fire up and get so excited. Such a sea of pink right now, from the survivors to the supporters to so many wonderful people. This is our view right here at Hensville Park. So many wonderful people. And one nice thing I got to tell you, the weather. Yes, it's cloudy. Yes, it's overcast. Yes, it's gray. But here's the nice thing. We are not tracking widespread showers and thunderstorms. Yeah, you'll still want to have the rain gear for sure, but nothing strong or severe. And I'll tell you what, it is not putting a damper on this year's 31st Race for the Cure. It's comfortable at Sea of Pink again. Come outside and check it out. No rain showers yet. There is just a little bit of a slight breeze, but things looking pretty nice, and things are kicking off here right now in downtown Toledo. We're going to continue to talk to some more wonderful people, but right now let's check in with Jeff and Kaylee. Guys, what are you seeing over there?
Hey, Kaylee, yeah, it's a little gloomy here, but we were saying it could be a lot worse. It's not bad running. I mean, I'm not a runner, but I'm guessing it's good running conditions.
Hey, we always check in with John Birchfield, gosh, let's get the morning going here. John Birchfield, who always updates us. He is an avid runner and always talks to us about the conditions and what runners enjoy. But overall, you're going to see a sea of pink down here. I think Tim mentioned that just a little bit ago, talking about all of the support, the warriors, the champions of those who have fought the good fight and those who continue to fight the fight. In fact, some of the statistics that we're going to throw out at you over the next course of very many minutes, we're going to talk about the fact that every 2 minutes here in the U.S., somebody is diagnosed with breast cancer, which is just a diagnosis that nobody wants to hear. But we know that the research and what is done down here time and time again, research, patient care, public help as far as mental health conditions. We talk about mammograms, the options that are available for that. So this is one of those things today is all about. Oh, absolutely. And we're also going to be checking in. Our survivor race is going on right now, kind of just telling the story of all the men and women that have overcome cancer here. And you talked about statistics. There are 4 million breast cancer survivors in the U.S. and 7.5 million in the world. Just a glimpse of some of the few that are going to be joining us here today and show us the true strength of perseverance in being able to fight this disease. Absolutely. So we're going to share with you over the course of very many minutes, over the next couple of minutes, we're going to share a number of stories as far as the family impact, those who have fought the good fight, and those who continue to champion the fight down here today. Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure, Northwest Ohio, the 31st edition here in downtown Toledo. We will be back with you. Our live team coverage continues of this year's race in just a moment. Welcome back. We appreciate you spending some time with us here on this Sunday morning. Jeff Smith along with Kaylee, Mare, and Tad. We are live downtown for the 31st edition of the Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure. And we are starting to see a lot of people stream in, taking part in not only the race, the walk, but just kind of the fan option down here. We said it all week long during our newscast. We said you don't have to run, you don't have to walk. This is just a matter of being together here and supporting the effort that is fighting breast cancer. Absolutely, and there are a lot of extra things here that you can participate in or go see. One of those things is the mobile mammogram unit, and that's where our Megan Hartnett is. Megan, I was at this mammogram unit last year when we did Komen coverage. Such a great opportunity for people to come out and get checked.
That's right, Kaylee. I mean, normally it's going all around Northwest Ohio. You know, I was talking to some of the people who work there. They say they go to Waterville, they go to doctors, rather than going to like doctor's appointments. Women can get the mammograms at churches, at their workplaces, rather than having to take that time off. And part of Komen's mission is removing those barriers to healthcare, and that's exactly what this van does. You walk in and you can get a mammogram in about 15 minutes. You do have to fill some paperwork out, get stuff set, but they said it takes probably less than 10 minutes most of the time. They said so far one person has gotten a mammogram today, and they're able to do more, but there is a lot of other things going on, so they're not expecting people to do it. You do have to have insurance or Medicare to get it covered, and it's important for women to get mammograms once a year, once they turn 40, and there's a lot that goes into it, but it's all about that early detection, which is one of the greatest ways that they can start treating cancer if they find it. But let's take a look inside the van at a little bit how the process works.
We travel to different locations throughout the region where we provide mobile mammograms for women who are of the age of 40 and above, and men as well as needed. Allowing them to have that easier access to care, it improves overall health results, and it also increases the chances of catching cancer earlier before it moves on. We always like to say preventative health care is the best health care.
You don't wake up in the morning going, oh, yay, I'm going to have my mammogram. But the people here are so friendly and so professional that they try to make the experience as positive for you as they can.
It's more treatable the earlier that it's caught. So in this instance, you'll take 15 minutes to potentially catch cancer and also have that time to receive the treatment that is needed versus procrastinating or finding reasons to put it off and thinking of, I'll get it next time, I'll get it next time. This beats next time. This is next time.
Well, first of all, they need to have a mammogram. That should be done every year. It could save their life. But also, this is just so convenient. I know that they go to other spots, other neighborhoods, and so they're available all over the place. All they have to do is call Mercy Health.
There is always a recommendation to get it done if you have a genetic history of it. There is also the recommendation of getting it done if you feel like you have any symptoms, you're symptomatic. If you are under the age of 40, you can have your provider, I should say, will submit an order for you. If you have an order and you're under the age of 40, you can have the mammogram done here on the mobile. So you don't have to have an order if you're above the age of 40 and non-symptomatic. Once you step onto the mobile unit, instantly in front of you there is a miniature waiting area. To your immediate right is our registration clerk. You will provide her with your insurance information. She will upgrade your demographics. From there, she will usher you over to our dressing room. You go through the rear of the dressing room to the back, and that is where you will find our mammogram tech. You will go to the back. She will capture all of your images and usher you back into the dressing room. You reclothe and you come back out the front side with our registration clerk and you exit the mobile. Once we collect your provider's name, those images, your images that are collected, are sent directly to your provider.
I used to have to go into the hospital, and when you go there, you're exposing yourself to all the germs and all the sick people, and so this is really nice.
No matter where you see us, if you see us, please take that 15 minutes to walk on and have the screening done, but we will accommodate to make sure that screening is completed that day.
I was told by my doctor once that as long as you have breasts, you should have a mammogram every year.
If it is detected that the patient does have cancer, BCCP will financially cover their cancer treatment. They will contact us directly and we will work and coordinate with them so that that patient can be seen regardless of their financial barriers, uninsured or high deductible.
Hey guys, we're at the foot of Washington Street here by Owens Corning. This is where the runner's going to be coming through here. The finish line's up there. Now, last year, we were down about a block and a half from the start. And, of course, it's great for talking to walkers, things like that. But what happened was after the walkers went through, there's really nothing we could show you. So now we're going to be this is going to be a great spot here in about an hour and a half when the runners are coming through. Coming around here, this is the road that the runners and the walkers will be coming through. So we'll be able to talk to people as they're coming through here. I don't know if you know this or not, but cheerleaders have a lot of energy. So over here is the Sylvania cheerleaders. Hey guys, you want to be on TV? How's your chance?
Hi.
Come on. So what group is this?
This is the Cougars, Junior Cougars, Timberstone.
Timberstone?
And the Fort.
All right. You guys have a lot of energy today? You ready to cheer for the runners?
Yeah, we have lots of energy.
See what I'm talking about? This is something else here. All right, thanks so much for being here. So, boy, in about an hour or so, the runners will be coming through here. The walker is going to be a lot of fun. And, well, you can see all the support they're going to get. Our coverage of the Race for the Cure from 2024 continues right after this on WTOL 11.
Welcome back into this year's coverage right here on WTOL 11 of the 2024 Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure. We want to remind you, Tim and I are located right here at the start line, so we will be where everything kicks off in just a little bit.
Yeah, we have the Northview cheerleaders behind us here. They're always out here every year doing a great job. And they'll be at the finish line later to kind of welcome the runners as they're coming in. You know, this takes an army to put this event together every year. And all the money the big goal for Susan G. Komen for the Cure is to raise money, and it goes to support care and just so many other things.
And we know every person that's involved has a deep connection to it, including a business in Findlay that definitely has a colorful mission with it.
Brown letters.
How can I help you?
On a brown sign.
$12.25 or 50.
On a brown building.
Give me a 12 and a 25.
Maybe monotone or muted from outside, but once you go through the doors, Fort Findlay Coffee and Donut Shop is bursting with color.
I'm just going to get a couple of donuts in a bag.
Our wardrobes tend to have a lot of pink in them.
From the shirts to some special sweets and the sacks of silk. That prominent pink inside Brooke Haynes' business is no coincidence.
The main reason that we do this is because of my mom.
My name is Marie Loudon Haynes, a 27-year breast cancer survivor.
A survivor with a story that starts with a shade of pink nearly 3 decades ago.
On my desk with the mail was a pink card to remind me to do the mammogram. I threw it away. The next morning, I threw it in the wastebasket. Maybe I missed the wastebasket. Maybe the housekeeper said, I'm not sure she should throw this away. It was on my desk, right in the middle of my desk.
A single pink card, then an appointment, a test, a discovery.
That cancer is there. I don't want to say it was frightening, but it was a doctor telling me this, and a doctor that I trust, and I knew that I would be okay. I knew I would be okay. We do waste a lot of energy, I think, lamenting about things that might happen to us, but we need to step aside from that and begin to celebrate the life, whatever that brings us.
Life brought Marie something unexpected.
Somehow, individuals knew that I was a cancer survivor, and some of the women would come to me and say, my aunt has been diagnosed, can you call her? My mom is ill. She needs to talk to someone. And I did that. And it was just hearing the voice of someone who's been there, who's been diagnosed, who's heard those words, yes, it's positive, you do have cancer. Knowing you can get through this. Even those tough times, you can get through this. I think for women, and probably too for men, it's been a sisterhood for the women. If you want it to be sorrowful and gruesome and resentful, you can do that. That's not my advice. My advice is to try to make every day the best day you possibly can.
A day like Race Day, the Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure, when a sea of pink floods the streets.
We were standing with the throngs of thousands of people in Columbus waiting for the gun to go off so we could run. And my daughter-in-law, Natalie, said to me, Mamie, I'm so glad you're standing next to me instead of a name on the back of my shirt. And there's joy there, and there's also sadness there too for those who were never able to say, I've now gone to 25 or 26 years. The first race, the woman and a mother, it looked like mother and daughter, although I don't know that, were just ahead of me. And when we crossed the line, the mother collapsed out of sheer joy, I think, that she had made it, and they hugged each other. And I knelt near them, and they said, the woman said, "My mother is a breast cancer survivor, and I'm so thankful she's here today." And I said, "I understand."
It can be pretty scary, but she went through it just like she does everything else, amazingly, and is here with us today.
Here, inside Fort Finley Coffee and Donut Shop, where it's not just the shirts that are pink.
It's called a Komen Square. It's a square glazed donut, and it's half filled with cream and half filled with raspberry. And part of those proceeds throughout the year, we turn around and donate to our race team, the Fort Finley Coffee for the Cure. And then we also sell a coffee called Silk. And for every bag of that we sell, we donate $2 back, and we do that through the Race for the Cure team as well. It's a very proud moment. I mean, we feel we do just a little bit and try to do a little bit as we go.
Each sale a small donation, and each spot of pink a huge reminder.
Call when you get a pink card that says this is a reminder. If I had not done that, if that card had not landed on my desk the second time, I would have come home in August, and that's when my brother died, and that would have been, I would have not done anything then.
Now they say that they are glad to see that their business is one of the top donors when it comes to Komen Race for the Cure, but there's one thing they want to see, and they want to see bigger businesses get involved and maybe top their list of donations and the amount that they donate every
They're
year.
leading by example, right?
Yes.
So hopefully more can get involved here. We have the Survivor Parade that is coming through right now here in downtown Toledo. Ma'am, can we talk to you real quick? What did you think about the Survivor Parade that just finished for you?
Oh, well, I think it's wonderful. It's changed a lot over the years. I've been coming here since 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, but it's just wonderful to honor so many of these women that have been 35 years, 40 years survivors. Yes, it's awesome.
How many years for you?
10.
10 years,
yes.
wow.
And we have to ask your name, too, to celebrate this.
My name is Marilyn Hartman. Yes.
Great to have you, Marilyn. Good job. Appreciate it. It's inspiring to see Marilyn and others come downtown, and you're hearing celebration too on the radio right now.
Exactly. I know it's getting loud over here. We do have live pictures where you can see that this Survivor Parade is wrapping up right now. Congrats to all of the people who are here finishing their walk.
Right, and we're about 35 minutes or so from the start of the 5K run and race. So the anticipation's building. Everyone's starting to come down here to something cherry.
Yeah, stick with us. Stick with us. We will be right back after a break.
Let's all celebrate and have a good time.
And welcome back. Great to have you with us once again here for the 31st edition of the Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure, Northwest Ohio edition. Jeff Smith along with Kaylee, Maren, Ted in downtown Toledo. Kaylee, each and every year that we are down here live and you start hearing Cool in the Gang celebration, you know things are getting ready to happen.
Things are rolling. Yeah, this is only my second year being involved with the Komen Race, but you can tell the energy is here back to back, year after year. We are starting to see some of the Survivor Parade starting, and actually the race is about to start soon too.
Yeah, in fact, we are just about 30 minutes away from the actual race kicking off. You know, this is one of those things year after year. We come down here, we talk about the survivors, we talk about the champions for this effort. Some of the statistics we're going to throw at you over the next hour and a half or so. 1 in 8 women, 1 in 8, 12% in the U.S. are going to be diagnosed with breast cancer in their lifetime. And that's just the stark reality that so many of these champions, these warriors, are faced with each and every year of their life, especially those who support through the Susan G. Komen Foundation.
Yeah, and thankfully for the Susan G. Komen Foundation, they were able to help fund and get some of that research and statistics able to be available to help fight cancer. Komen, I think we had read that it is Komen is the largest nonprofit funder of breast cancer research outside of the U.S. government. It just tells you how many people are behind this fundraiser and this organization, and just how important this is for men and women that maybe don't even have breast cancer and haven't been diagnosed yet.
Yeah.
You don't know when that diagnosis will drop, but these survivors have lived that. And I know we do have some people here that are currently in their battle right now. So just coming out and supporting them, I guess, is what makes all the difference.
Absolutely. And we've got live team coverage out here for you this morning as we continue to bring you this event, which is so near and dear to our hearts at WTOL 11. We've got Dan Cummins, we've got Megan Hartnett checking on things. We've also got meteorologist Kaylee Bowers, who is keeping an eye to the sky, but right now everything's so good so far. Let's check in with Kaylee.
We're not seeing any sunny skies right now, however, seeing some overcast skies, but positivity is just full of sunshine. You one wonderful survivor. Look at this! This right here. It is a celebration. Tell me, how many years are you cancer-free?
I am under a year. I ring the bell Monday, so it's extra special for me.
I love that. And you have an amazing crew right here.
And I think that's what keeps you through the support, the love, whether it's a text, whether it's a call. You need that to get through, because these treatments take a lot out of your body. But when you know you can count on someone or count on your family, it makes it all more special.
And what do you feel about being a part of this today?
I think becoming a part of the community was something I wasn't too adhering to, but once I got a part of it, Susan G. Komen has embraced me, my family has embraced me, and I think it just put me a little bit step ahead, because now I can be an advocate for someone else going through the same thing I was going through.
I love hearing that. Congratulations. Congratulations, guys. This is why we are here. We are here for the survivors. We are here for the families. Hearing these cheers, it's going to be a great day. Again, we're not tracking sunshine, but we have sunshine in our hearts. Jeff, Kaylee, I'm going to send things back over to you. Things are getting closer and closer, but instead of Jeff and Kaylee, actually, let's check in with Dan Cummins. Dan, you're pretty busy this morning, I hear.
Well, I have Sarah with me. She's the race director. So how do you get in charge of this whole shebang? This is a big deal.
Well, I've actually been involved with Komen for this is my 10th year with Race. I have always done Hensville and Hope Village, and this year was the year. It was my 10th year, and Gretchen looked at me and she's like, this is it. This is your year. So stepped up, became race chair. It's been phenomenal.
So how are things going this morning? I mean, there's a lot of energy in the air today. The weather turned out okay?
Yeah, actually, we had a little touch and go this morning with the rain and everything like that, but it has been phenomenal. Rain stopped right when we wanted it to. Everything got set up. People have come down in droves. Hensville, VIP area, Survivor, Hope Village. It is a phenomenal energy today. I mean, it has just been a fantastic morning already.
What kind of numbers are you thinking this year?
I actually don't look at numbers, so that's a Gretchen thing. I stay away from it. My goal is totally energy, experience, how people are feeling. We brought some new things this year. We have food trucks lined up for all the survivors, or like the people down the finish line, so that they can, get some food after, stay down here, celebrate for a little bit. We're working on that experience. We changed some things up this year. We had our survivor parade ending closer right at opening ceremony time, because we wanted those survivors to feel that energy and people to line the streets and yell for them, and it's exactly what's happened today.
Well done. Thank you for your time. I know you're very busy. You kind of got a little bit going on here as the race time gets closer and closer. Thank you so much.
No problem.
We'll take a break. The coverage on WTOL 11 for the Race for the Cure continues after this. Stick around.
Thanks for joining us here back for the 2024 Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure. I'm Kaylee Marintet here with Jeff Smith. The opening ceremony is just getting started for the Survivor Parade. We heard from Chris Peterson, and our Melissa Andrews is down there. I heard Chris say that she's done this for 30 years, and the first one, which was the Franklin Park Mall, the first one only had 600 people, and it was only women.
Yeah, and she was saying that was the push, and she heard from men again and again, because we know that breast cancer affects men as well. And she heard, I want to be a part of this. Let me be a part of this, not only from the standpoint of being a supporter, but also from those who have been impacted by breast cancer directly. So this is a good thing. And she said, Chris Peterson on stage said at the as the opening ceremonies got underway, she said, this is my favorite part of the morning because the group will continue to grow and expand as the morning. We're about half hour from the start of the race at this point.
Very exciting. And the weather's not too bad. The hair had to go up. I feel personally victimized by the humidity today.
You know, we do want to say, too, the integral part that our very own Melissa Andrews has played in this organization for the last 12 years or so, being a champion for our station, WTOL 11, making sure that our involvement continues to blossom as this event has grown over the years.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It is great to see our partnership with Susan G. Komen and the rest of the community grow and blossom. This is just proof, you know, all the people that show up here each and every year. And we don't have a total number count of how many people have come. I know Dan asked that. So we are definitely just excited to get this day going and kick it off.
Absolutely. We're going to check in on that opening ceremony right here, right now, to see some of the things that they're sharing. Melissa talking right now. Let's check in and see what's going on over there.
For people to be able to get those tests in underserved areas, people who don't have insurance. So what a way to take something that happened to herself and help others. This year, the race is in memory of Debbie Franceus. We have her husband, Mike, up here. He's wearing Debbie's pink wig that she wore for the Race for the Cure. He joked over at Hensville that Debbie would say she wore it better, which is probably true. Thank you, Mike, and he's done some amazing things for Komen since he's gotten involved in the last year or so, so we certainly appreciate that support. We know that so many of you are here because you have been touched by breast cancer personally. I don't know a person who doesn't know somebody in their family or circle of friends who has been touched by breast cancer in some way. And some of those folks are not here to celebrate with us today, just like Debbie Franceus. So we would like to just have a moment of silence and have you guys just think about people who may not be here with us, who have been at this race with you in the past, people who have inspired you. Please give them just a moment of silence. Thank you so much. And now let's do something fun. Who are you thinking about today? Whether it's somebody that you're here remembering, or somebody that you are here celebrating, or who is not here with you, but you are celebrating them. We're going to count down to 3, count up to 3, and then I want everybody to yell as loud as they can the names of the folks that they are here celebrating and remembering today, all right? This will be fun. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I know they're hearing us. Thank you so much for being here. The support that you give is that critical, intangible piece of the recipe that our survivors use to fight and continue to come back here every year. So thank you for giving them that.
Well, we have just been listening to Chris Peterson, took that moment of silence there for a moment, and it really does hit home when you start to think about the impact that this disease has had on so many families. I know mine personally. We've got a survivor in our family over the last year or so, and it's just one of those things that this event really brings things home each and every year.
It does, and I think saying the name of who you're thinking about, too, kind of makes it real and makes you realize who you're here for, whether that's a family member or a friend. And that moment of silence was really touching. We had read that 43,000 people are expected to die in the U.S. this year of breast cancer, men and women. So it just kind of puts it in perspective how impactful this race is and how many lives this race and this foundation can touch.
It's one of those things, and we're lucky enough to be involved with St. Jude during the course of our Dream Home campaign, but another organization that is a household name is, of course, Susan G. Komen and what they do and why they do it. Our live team coverage continues down here, downtown Toledo. We are right in front of the Owens Corning World Headquarters here. A beautiful day because of what we are celebrating and those we are talking about, remembering those who have fought the good fight as far as this fight against breast cancer is concerned. The 31st Race for the Cure. It's hard to believe.
I know.
Happening down here today.
We're here again, and we have a lot more team coverage coming your way in just a few minutes. Welcome back into the 2024 Susan G. Komen Race. I'm Kaylee Maritet here with Jeff Smith. You know, each year we want to celebrate somebody in memory of somebody, and this year is for Emily Zarecki. We've been sharing stories of survivors and people in memory all week, but this year is in celebration of her life.
Yeah, and she has really found her strength and wanted to share that as part of this story. Watch.
Emily Zarecki has been through hard things. Her husband Steve took his own life after a long battle with his mental health in 2009. Emily was left to care for their 3 young children, an 8-year-old son and 4-year-old twin daughters.
I even think I put my own grief on the back burner because I was so focused on them and making sure they were okay.
She had to make sure their needs were met more so than her own as a grieving widow.
Sometimes it was moment by moment or day by day, but to figure out how to just keep moving forward.
So 11 years later, and now remarried to Mark, it was that same strength Emily called upon when she got another devastating call.
I then interrupted her and said, "Did you just say I have cancer?" And she said yes.
Just like when Steve had died, one minute life was great. The next, and a few simple words later, life changed forever.
It was that feeling again like the world stopped.
The shock, fear, and anxiety were there. Emily was scared, but this time she knew she could get through hard things.
Mine happened to be the death of my husband and then breast cancer. But there are so many things that are challenges and they're hard, but they are those unlikely sources of strength that you can draw upon.
Her fight with breast cancer was long. 1 full year of treatment, including chemo, surgery, and immunotherapy. Emily didn't just beat breast cancer for herself. She's still fighting it for all women in Washington, D.C. on behalf of Susan G. Komen.
As an advocacy ambassador, I am, part of, regular calls to understand what's going on at our state level, but then also at the national level.
She's advocating for bills to lower costs for treatments, reduce ineffective treatments, and bring screening tools to the un- and underinsured.
I thought if I didn't have insurance, it would bankrupt me. And I was just really shocked by that.
It's been 15 years since Emily survived Steve's death, 4 since she survived breast cancer. In the difficult parts of life, she's found silver linings.
Facing something that you just didn't think you'd be able to survive or didn't see how you'd come to the other side of it. And have that perspective and being able to now live life with that constant reminder and to be able to just look at things in a new way.
We all have scars. Usually, we try to hide them. Emily says her book, Golden Scars, is about finding beauty in the brokenness.
You can see the damage that had happened to the item, but it was, repaired with something so beautiful, and you can see the gold, you can see the cracks, but yet it makes that object even more beautiful, knowing you've got to move forward and find the strength to move forward and realize that as you're rebuilding your life, you're finding beauty in that brokenness.
That was our Melissa Andrews reporting, and what a great story. We've been sharing these stories all week. Just it's kind of eye-opening, everything that these survivors go through.
I don't know how Emily does it, to tell you the truth, because not only has she brought out a book, but she's also been a huge cog in getting Chicks for Charity back up and running here in Northwest Ohio again. So she has taken that strength that she has found in battling this disease, but she has kind of made sure that she is involved in so many other things, giving back and donating her time. So it's been a fantastic story. We are getting ready for the national anthem right now. Let's check in.
By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hail, have the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of all brave.
Well, a good Sunday morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us here on WTOL 11, live coverage of the 31st Race for the Cure in downtown Toledo, giving you an overhead look as race participants start to line up. We're only a couple of minutes away. Former WTOL 11 anchor Chris Peterson is acting as traffic cop right now, kind of getting everybody in place. But we've got live team coverage down here for everybody this morning.
We do have a lot of good members out here for you covering this 2024 Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure. We have our Tim Miller and Kaylee Kirby down by the start line. We also have our Kaylee Bowers. You're getting all three Kayleys this morning. Talking weather and what she's seeing right now. We also have our Megan Hartnett, who is at the Mammogram unit, talking about how you can get checked today. We also have our Dan Cummins, who's talking to racers as they walk, run, and make their way to the finish line.
Research, care, action, community, and of course, if you take the name Race for the Cure, that's what we're all about this morning. Let's check in with our Tim Miller and Kaylee Kirby as they are at the starting line. Guys, take it away.
All right, thanks so much, Jeff and Kaylee. We are just counting down the seconds, because it's literally seconds until we get to kicking off this year's Race for the Cure. The 5K will start, and then after that, we're about to get started.
That's right, about a minute and a half to go. Let's pan over and see the runners here. They've been stretching for the last hour or so, maybe doing a little bit of pre-run to get ready to go, but they're about to get started here. And they're excited. We know they're going to head straight down Summit Street here and then turn, I believe, down on Jackson. But it's a great morning for downtown Toledo for sure.
And we know for the people who run,
consistently. This will be a fast race for them. 5K isn't too bad for the people like, our WTOL, John Birchfield, our meteorologist. But we know this is all, for and supporting people who are currently going through
One minute till the start.
Come on the other side.
Can you feel the excitement?
Yeah, John actually won the race last year. He and his wife won the women's side of it. Liz won. So it's a great moment for these runners to get ready to start here. The weather is actually really good. It's not raining at all, and there's a breeze. Runners like to feel a little cool air as they're motoring on along. So we are very close, 30 seconds to go now here.
I would agree with you, Tim. If I was a runner, I would say this is perfect weather.
Good conditions.
Runners, you will
and shout out to the Toledo Police. Chris Peterson just mentioned they're donating their time, so Komen doesn't have to pay for the security here. But they're out in front. We have Defender as well, WTOL Defender out in front, kind of the pace car as these runners are getting ready to go here.
All right, well, we are only 5 seconds
Here we go.
from the start. We've got on the clock right here. 3, 2,
Guys, here we go.
Let's
and
go.
We're about to
Clear
start.
the streets, please. Runners, take your marks. Get set.
That was the horn right there. We are off for our 2024 Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure. The 5K runners have already started.
Off to a fantastic start.
And some of them are already running pretty fast. They're not pacing themselves. They're off and running for sure.
Yeah, they've been warming up, so they know what they're doing. We know that it'll be a fast race for a lot of people. It's so amazing to see all of these people right here, just getting here and being downtown and running in this race for the Cure.
Right, and we do have that walk behind them. The walkers are getting lined up, and then we're going to have the 1 mile family fun walk as well. So you don't have to be a runner to be part of the Race for the Cure. It's for everybody.
Yeah, and we know this is such a family fun event too. It's not just the survivors, not just the have the support of everyone who is in connection.
This is fantastic to see. I think it's a bigger crowd than last year as far as the runners go, but let's give you a little sights and sounds now of this race as it begins, and the walkers are coming through now.
Somebody fight. Oh, we got our Titty Titans out here. These team days. Hands up. Love it. Love seeing these shirts. We got our survivors coming through. Love you, ladies. Love you. 32 years. Woo! Good to see you guys. Love it. Where did all these people come from? Love the tutu. So amazing. So great to see you all. Thank you for being here. Artina, you're inspiring. Look, we got our Believe team. I love it. Oh, we have our team running in memory of the Thank you guys for being here.
And the atmosphere is just immaculate here in downtown Toledo. We're seeing so many wonderful people celebrating survivors, celebrating those who had a very hard fight. Again, we are here at the Race for the Cure in downtown Toledo. Just listen to the crowd cheering. Everyone is so excited. We just had the runners step off just a few moments ago, and now we have the walkers. And right now, we're right by the 1 mile start line where so many people are getting ready to walk or run that 1 mile. Look at that sea of pink. A lot of people dancing, having a good time. It's a great day. Yes, the weather is a little just but not putting a damper on anyone's spirits. We are seeing those cloudy overcast skies. In fact, here goes that 1 mile start right now. There they go. there's no words to describe this right now. So many people out here just celebrating their loved ones right now in that sea of pink. We see some survivors, we see some fighters, we see so many people right here. Yes, tell us, who are you walking for?
We are walking for my mother, Sylvia Belcher. She died in January of breast cancer. We've been walking for 14 years for her mom because she died, but this is our first year without her, so.
I'm sorry to hear about your mom, but a great fight. Have a wonderful day. Thank you guys for all your support. Yes, it is a beautiful day honoring those and also supporting those as well. We're seeing that sea of pink as well. And of course, we're gonna have more live team coverage here in downtown Toledo at the 31st Race for the Cure.
Welcome back into the 2024 Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure. Runners just got started off the start line a few minutes ago, and it looks like we are getting a look at the runner that's kind of leading
the way, right?
Yeah.
And Lafayette and South St. Clair. In fact, we are kind of tracking the runners as they make their way. They traverse through downtown Toledo. Great to have you with us here once again. 31st edition of the Northwest Ohio Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure. And of course, WTOL 11, a proud partner to bring you this coverage each and every year downtown. We were talking about it, just, you know, obviously everybody is racing for someone. Everybody is walking for someone. This has impacted them. But one of the things that we have talked about over the course of very many weeks leading up to this is early detection, how important it has become. And in fact, some of the statistics that Susan G. Komen has shared with us over the course of various many weeks, talking to us about how the improvements in that early detection have decreased the amount as far as detection contributed to the 42% decline in breast cancer rates here in the U.S. between 89 and 2021. Mammography is so important in that.
Absolutely, and there is a unit here, and that's where our Megan Hartnett is. Megan, how is it going there? I know some of the runners are coming past you right now.
That's right, Kaylee. I'm a little bit near the 1 mile mark. We had the first runner pass us a few minutes ago, and there's tons of people, as you can see, running past, people of all ages. You know, a lot of people have pink on. They are running with different teams. They're coming by. It looks like everyone's having a lot of fun. You can see all the different splashes of pink here, and I know that there's still a lot more people coming by. We also have people on the sides of the street who are cheering them on. You can hear those cowbells. They're blowing bubbles, clapping, cheering. The energy is great here. They still have about 2 miles to go, but I'm sure that there's no slowing them down, as you can see them all coming around the corner. No, that's that right here. And more people are coming, you know, cheering people on. They're here to support their families and friends. There's dogs. There is just a lot of energy right now. You can see them running past. Look at that, waving. And we're gonna keep seeing people coming by, but for right now, we're gonna get a check with Dan.
So we're right there at Owens Corning and the bridge there. The finish line is about 100 yards away or 200 yards away, and we're about 10 and a half minutes into the race. So in a moment here, the leaders will be coming right through here, and then they'll be going around the turn and going right to the finish line. We've got some walkers here coming up. So this is the casual walk. These guys are really casual, but then of course the other walkers are going. I just want to say this. It's a privilege to be a part of this event today, because we've been doing this for 31 years, and the Race for the Cure broadcast, you laugh, you cry. There's a lot of love here today, so we'll be talking to a lot of the walkers who have really special reasons to be here. And the thing about why are people here today, why is this race so popular? It's because we're all coming together, and everyone's been touched by cancer in their lifetime. I have been, I know you have at home. So it's just a way to come up and just raise money to help cancer research and hope that breast cancer someday will go away. So it's just a privilege to be a part of this race. But again, We're waiting for the first runners to come through, and it shouldn't be that much longer from now. Our coverage of the 31st annual Susan G. Komen Race to the Cure continues right after this.
And welcome back to our live coverage here on WTOL 11 of the 31st Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure. Tim Miller along with Kaylee Kirby here. And Kaylee, we are not far from the finish line, and we're expecting to see the first runner come through here momentarily. We understand they're around Middle Grounds Metro Park at the moment.
Yeah, and when we look at our clock, we're 15 minutes into the race from when it kicked off, so they're moving pretty fast. We know that they'll be the first one, and then pretty soon after, lots more people will come by.
And math hasn't been my strong point in my life, but that's about a 5-minute mile if you're talking about a 3.1 mile run here, 5K. So they're blazing. They've been running hard since the beginning here as they're about to turn the corner here by Owens Corning and come on down Washington Street here. Always a great moment to see them coming through. Of course, the female race is going on too, and then we'll start to see some of the walkers come in. But, you know, there is some bragging rights here to be the winner of the Race for the Cure. So we know they're running hard right now.
Yeah, we just got word that the first runner, the person leading the pack, is over at Oliver House, so not too far from us. That's right at 16 minutes for the time, so they should probably get here pretty soon.
Yeah, excited to see that. We know we have, I always say this is a showdown every year because we have the Northview cheerleaders and the Southview cheerleaders. You know, that's a rivalry there in Sylvania, but they always do a great job in welcoming. You see some of the walkers coming down Washington Street here, and we're going to see that lead runner coming in pretty soon.
Yeah, and we've got lots of people over here also on the finish line as well. They've made their way over from the start line to cheer on the people who are running and walking. As you can see right here on our live pictures, we've got the first round of walkers.
These are the survivors,
1 mile, for the survivors coming through. Lots of signs, lots of pink, making their way. We want to go right over to Dan, where we have the first runner coming by right now. Dan? Oh, okay, never mind.
This is a shot of the runner, the first runner coming through. Look at that sprint.
Oh, goes Dan.
John Birchfield won the race last year. Our weatherman, John Birchfield, he is not racing today.
Okay.
Boy, he's flying.
Okay.
Perfect weather conditions, though, for a run.
All right,
a lot of
thanks
walkers
so much,
coming
Dan.
here,
Hey,
too.
look, we've got the first runner. All right, here we go. We've got the first runner coming by right here.
He is flying.
With our defender right in front of him. The time that we have for him coming in is 17 minutes, 40 seconds. Wow.
That's blazing.
Congratulations to the first male runner. We are going to try and get an interview with him pretty soon. But we've also got more runners coming in and some more walkers. We want to check in with Dan right now. Hey, Dan.
That was the first woman runner there coming through. Gina, let me go over and talk to some walkers here real quick, okay? Hey, guys. What brings you guys here today?
I came down because I lost my daughter last year from breast cancer.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Are you doing okay? Show the picture there.
Grief comes and goes when it wants to.
It does.
It shows up unexpectedly. And a lot of times I've been in places where all of a sudden I'll think about her. And then there are days that are good, and then there are days that are bad.
Say your name.
Patricia.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's why people are here today. Boy. Hey, come here. Talk to. How come you guys are here today?
I'm sorry?
Why are you here today walking?
My mother, to honor my mother, she is a breast cancer survivor.
Survivor?
Yes.
Congratulations. How many years?
5.
What's your name?
Jasmine.
And what's your mom's name?
Angela Rice.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. A lot of stories like this. I tell you what, a lot of stories. Let's go to Tim and Kaylee right now. More happening right now.
Yeah, Yeah, Dan, we are with the winner here of the men's race here for Race for the Cure. Zachary Pick is here. Congratulations. Just over 17 minutes. That's a pretty fast race there.
Yeah, I wanted to go a little faster, but the conditions didn't allow it, but that's okay. It's a good, hard effort, and that's what I'm happy about. So.
Hey, Zach, who are you running for today?
I'm running on behalf of my aunt, Heather Pick. She was an anchorwoman for Channel 10 in Columbus back in the early 2000s. She passed away when she was 38 in 2008, so I'm running on behalf of her.
I know she was loved in the community down there. 10 TV is one of our Tegna stations, a sister station. So we always ask this to people who run and Race for the Cure. Did you feel a little extra kick because you remember your aunt Heather?
Yeah, that last stretch, I wasn't hurting, but I'm like, you know what? My aunt was hurting for years, so I have no complaints. So I just kind of toughed it out and did it for her. So.
Is this your first time in the race?
This one, I've done Columbus probably 5 times or so, and it's a phenomenal event. So it was nice to kind of do one in a different location, and I love it. It was awesome. I'll probably do it next year.
And we know it's not all about winning here, but when did you know you had this one?
Probably the first turn, because I knew one of the other Dave's runners running it, and she's usually behind me, but she usually gives me a push, so it was motivating.
All right, Zach, thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it, and congrats.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
I appreciate it.
Way to keep your aunt's memory alive. Appreciate that.
No problem. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, that's the male winner there. We want to go to meteorologist Kaylee Bowers, who has done a great job out and about on the race route. Kaylee, what are you seeing?
Yeah, Tim, good morning. I know a lot of people have been saying whether you're a runner, a racer, or just a spectator, the weather conditions haven't been the best for running. Again, we've been talking about meteorologist John Birchfield all morning. He's the pro when it comes to running and weather, but I can talk about the weather. And yes, we are seeing some overcast skies, a slight breeze, and also just a little bit of some light rain for this morning. But overall, the weather hasn't really put a damper on anyone for this morning. The spirits have been phenomenal. In fact, we're getting some cheers right now just over here. And just not only are the runners fast, the walkers and the golf carters have been pretty quick as well. I mean, just about 5 minutes ago, the entire area down here was completely covered, again, in that sea of pink. And you can see, there we go, some volunteers right there. Good morning, guys. Thank you for your help. Yeah, so people have been coming down here very quickly. And things are just, again, wonderful here in downtown Toledo for the 31st Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure. We're going to have more live team coverage here on WTOL 11 right after this.
Welcome back. She was on stage just a little bit ago at the intersection of Summit and Monroe, saying that she has been affiliated with 30 of the 31 Race for the Cures. Former WTOL 11 anchor Chris Peterson joining us. Good to see you this morning.
It's so great to be here. You guys have been doing a fantastic job. We've been keeping one eye on the TV and one eye on the crowd up there, so it's been awesome. And I just can't say enough to our community about the support. How many events do you know that go on for 31 years and you still get this kind of turnout for that? And I just think it speaks to not only people's dedication and commitment to our community, but also to this important cause. And it's been really heartwarming to see it continue to be successful year after year.
Show up and show out. Yeah. That's what Northwest Ohio and Southeastern Michigan do year after year.
They do, absolutely. And we couldn't do it without them. And you're directly helping your friends and neighbors when you come here and support this. So we know that that works.
You got involved in this a long time ago, but the impact, the breadth of breast cancer research, and what have you seen from a local level as far as how these dollars have really made an impact over the years?
You know, I was just talking about that because when I worked at the TV station, I would often get those phone calls. I was just diagnosed. How do I get in touch with Komen? What can they do to help me? In addition to paying for mammograms and other screenings, if people have them, they also will help with medical bills for surgeries and treatments. You know, they can get them enrolled in programs that will help with that as well. But things like you don't think about, like you have 2 young children at home and you have to go to chemo 8 hours a day, for a series of weeks, and you don't have child care.
Yeah.
So they will pay for child care bills, electricity bills when you are worried about paying for your medication and your medical bills, and your electricity is going to be turned off. Like, we got you. So there are a lot of intangibles, groceries that people don't think about because this is very expensive. A lot of people are off work during treatment and they don't have insurance and they don't have disability that they can collect. So this is a really great way for people to understand that they are helping at a very granular level the basic needs of people who are going through treatment.
And also, I think it speaks to that they're not alone in the fight either. I feel like it can be a very isolating when you get that diagnosis. You can feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. But knowing that Komen is here and you have a community here around you, what do you think has stuck out to you today about this race? When you see those women in the pink shirts, it is a family. I mean, they don't know each other, but they know they share something that is bigger than all of them, and they are hugging and they're congratulating each other. You see people that have been, Bessie Mack has been a 54-year cancer survivor, and she's here every single year. That 54 years says to someone who's in their first year of treatment, man, I can make it 54 years. You don't have to be as scared. So I think the camaraderie, the inspiration, the hope that those women bring and the families bring is really, really important, because those intangibles, when you're trying to survive a disease, are so important to you being able to beat it. And that's what we see year after year. There are also some really amazing stories that happen in the second race for the cure. I met Sue and Gwen. They've been coming every year. Sue is a 39-year survivor. Gwen is a 32-year survivor. They were best friends in high school, lost touch. They showed up at the second race for the cure, both in pink shirts, and saw each other and reunited. They've been besties ever since. They've come to every race together for 30 years. And those types of stories also tell you, this is something that brings people together in a really profound way.
We were also struck when you talked. Wait, I'm sorry. I'll talk in the mic and then I'll hand it to you so we can hear you talk. My goodness. You talked about the beginning stages of this, the stages of Race for the Cure in Northwest Ohio. Franklin Park Mall, 500 people show out, and then you talk to where we have graduated to here today, and it's got to give you some pride.
I think it's really amazing, and in no small part did the station help with that, because to have that platform, to be able to use it, they were generous from the very beginning of, we want to get behind this and support me as honorary chair. And when you have that kind of publicity platform, and then you also have something that's so important to the community, that it's going to grow. But I think it's exceeded our wildest expectations. There was one year I think we had 21,000 people here. Our race is bigger than Chicago's, Cleveland's, a lot of other communities that are bigger communities than ours. Our race is bigger, so it's pretty incredible.
And you, year after year, you see some of those familiar faces. The many years that you do anything, you start to see more and more people coming back, and that's got to warm your heart a little bit.
It does, and I love giving. It's like Christmas. I get to come and get my hugs from everybody, every year, and I love that. And then also, I'm looking for people sometimes who aren't here, and then people will say to me, we lost her last year. Sometimes it's because of breast cancer, sometimes other things, but we miss those people because they're such a fixture here when they're not here. Debbie, our in memory of honoree this year, is one of those women. She's been so supportive of this fight, and worked with her at ProMedica a little bit, and she's just very inspiring. Her family has just taken on this fight for her in her memory and name, and that's incredible.
Well, this is one of those things. It knows no bounds as far as families are concerned, as far as race is concerned, and year after year, this race for the cure, that's what we're out here for today.
Yeah, and we're going to find it. I mean, they are so close. If you look at Komen and the research that they're doing and all of the impact that they're having, there are cures on the horizon. it would be so great to not have a race for the cure. We can put our efforts behind something else then, but I know it's coming. I know it's coming in my lifetime, and I just can't wait.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Thank you. Good to
Thank
see
you
you.
so much
for
for being
having us
here,
here,
of course.
Chris. I just have to give a shout out to Chris. You know, when I first took over this job, she reached out to me and we got coffee and just talked about the community, and we feel so lucky to
and
have
how
you
important
around.
things like this are as far as WTOL's connection to it.
Yes, absolutely.
We've got Megan Hardnett, who is part of our team coverage out here this morning as well. She is going to join us with more. Megan, take it away.
Yeah, I'm here. It's about the 1 mile mark. There are still some walkers walking past, but I'm joined here by Fanny. Fanny, you said you're an 11-year survivor, right?
11-year survivor.
How are you feeling today?
I feel good. I feel real good. Yes, great.
And you said that you've come out every year, right?
Yes, to the race every year.
And how does this year compare to others?
Greater. It's like more people, I think, this year than, I don't know, maybe ever before. There's just a lot of people. I just love the crowds.
That's what you said. You love the crowds. I mean, there's support. You see all sort of people. You said that you have people. You're still waiting for them, right?
Right. My work group. I was here with them, and we kind of got separated a little bit. But I'm here with Advanced Specialty Hospital and all the survivors and the people going through right now, just supporting each other.
And I mean, that's awesome to have work support, to have all these people here. How does it make you feel to have the support for not only yourself, but all these other survivors?
It feels good. It feels good. Real good.
Real good?
Yeah.
You know, is there anything that you would want to say or that you would want to tell people who aren't part of Race for the Cure?
Just get involved. Go get your mammograms. Make sure you get checked and just be supportive.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I hope you enjoy your day. I love the pink. You're looking great. And we're now going to take a break, but we'll be back in just a few minutes with more coverage.
Hey, welcome back to our coverage of the 2024 Susan G. Komen Race to the Cure. I'm Dan Cummins. What a day it's been. Now, we saw a lot of runners come through here a little while ago. The thinner pack right now, and of course, the mass of the walkers did the fun walk they've gone through. But we've got a couple of runners here who stopped by to say hello. Give me your names.
Emma Hammer, Olivia Volgapol.
So how was the run today?
It was good. The weather was nice. We had a good time.
The weather was ideal. Well, I know we've had some hot weather recently, but this is a nice, cool day to get out here. So, do you guys train a lot for this, or this is just a fun thing for you guys?
We both used to run in high school together. I don't run as much, but Emma is running at Findlay, so. College.
You're in college running?
I'm doing track.
Nice going.
Yeah.
What's it like down there?
It's nice.
So give me an idea. Tell our viewers, what is it like to be in that pack of runners a little while ago, and then the gun goes off and you wait and wait and wait to even get to the starting line? That's got to be crazy.
Yeah. That's definitely different from what we're used to. We probably should have started up further, but we weaved around people. It was fun. So. And there's a lot of energy with all those people together. It helps you run faster.
There is so much energy here. That's what's really cool about this. A lot of people have particular reasons for they're dedicated to being here for a family member or a friend who's struggling with breast cancer. Have you guys had breast cancer in your lives at all?
Yeah, my grandma has it.
Is she okay?
Yeah, she's beating it. So.
Good.
My mom fought it, but she beat it.
See, all these great stories, and thank you for sharing. And do you have a good time? Do you like your time today?
Yep.
What was it?
Probably 23, 30. I don't know.
She's not willing to share all of it. Let's go to Tim and Kayla. There's so many great stories to tell today before we go off the air, but it's just been a fun experience being here.
It really has, Dan. Just listening to everyone's story, being able to talk to them, we know that everyone goes through their own personal journey, but a lot of them come out on the other side. Some don't, but we know we have their families supporting.
And we're joined now by Sue Heyman. She just finished the Survivors Walk. Her husband Keith is here. They're from Lambertville. Sue, how many years again as a survivor?
4+ years as a survivor.
And we were saying next year you can hold up that 5 sign.
Next year I can hold back a sign. That's great.
How does it feel to be here this morning? All these folks coming in, runners, walkers, supporters, cheering you on. What's it been like?
This is awesome. I mean, it's a rush of excitement and exhilarating and everything. It's all rolled into one. It's a great place to be. I wouldn't have missed it. Even if it rained, I wouldn't have missed it.
And Sue, before we called you over here, you showed us the back of your shirt that you've got on.
I did.
Talk a little bit about that. Spin around.
I was the top money winner fundraiser last year. So this was my prize, and I added the 2023 to it. And a little bling on the sleeve.
There we go.
What did you do to fundraise? I know there are so many different ways to do that. You obviously took it a big priority in making that fundraising.
Mostly on Facebook. Susan Komen makes it so easy to fundraise that I sent a message out to all my friends on Facebook. I emailed friends. I did whatever I could to get funds to support me in my walk. So
talk to us a little bit about the importance of fundraising, you know, all the money that goes to Komen to help find a cure for breast cancer.
I'll tell you what, the importance of fundraising is all of these people that are here today and the funds that they've raised. Komen does so much for people that are in need during their treatment. I mean, I was a lucky person that had good insurance. Not everybody does. So, you know, for Komen to be able to step up and provide transportation, babysitting service, whatever people need, it's there for them.
And we know there are 4 million survivors right now of breast cancer in the United States, and this event helps make that happen and continue to have those. We don't want to see any cases of it, but to see this many survivors, including yourself, is just so inspiring.
We would love to see it go away, and let's hope it does. You know, even in my lifetime, I hope it goes away. But until then, we've got organizations like this helping us out, so it's great.
Well, Sue, thanks so much for joining us today.
You're welcome. Thank you.
We'll see you next year for 5.
Bye.
Looking forward to that. Thank you, Sue. All right, we continue our live coverage here. We'll be right back.
Welcome back once again here live from downtown Toledo for the 31st Race for the Cure, Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure. I'm Jeff Smith along with Kaylee, Mara, and Ted. Just enjoying the celebration of life, the celebration of the fight, and the celebration of the champions we have down here with us today.
Not only that, but we also are recognizing those that have lost their battle to breast cancer. And this year we are recognizing Debbie Franceus, a woman during her life. She reached new heights, helping other women do the same even after her death. Melissa Andrews is bringing us this story.
Debbie was just a total amazing gal, one of a kind. Rugged and glamour in the same package. You could put a fishing pole in her hand, you could take her hiking, you could take her hunting.
Not a day goes by that Mike Francis doesn't look to the sky and think of his wife of 44 years.
I see her, no question about it.
Some of their best moments were spent up there. Mike piloting their plane, Debbie as co-pilot.
She'd say, let's go fly. She flew in the right seat with me for, you know, over 1,000 hours over the years.
With a career as a nurse and caring for their 3 kids, Debbie was on the ground a little more than Mike back in those days. But eventually, she too got her aviation license.
Honey, that was amazing. Congrats.
So she was like biting at the bit to say, hey, get out of the airplane. Let me do this, because I've been watching you do this for 44 years. Getting your license is not a walk in the park. I mean, you're flying in an airplane, you know, takes precision.
Their plan was to take to the sky as much as possible in their retirement, seeing the country and dropping in on grandkids together. But that wasn't in the stars for Debbie. Just 2 months after retiring from ProMedica, in March of 2022, Debbie was diagnosed with the very aggressive triple-negative breast cancer.
She got kind of defiant about it. She said, I'm taking my sister and we're going on a cruise. And this is like right at her diagnosis. And I'm going, whoa, you're not going anywhere. She says, yeah, oh yeah, I am.
Debbie returned to tests, MRIs, chemo, and radiation. That year, Team Debbie held the Race for the Cure at their beloved airport.
The owner of the airport was gracious and said, hey, do your Komen walk at the airport. So we emptied out an airplane hangar and we set up tables and chairs and food and we did our Race for the Cure up and down the runway.
3 months later, at Christmas, it became clear to Mike and the kids that Debbie would not get better.
Shortness of breath, super fatigued. She would try to walk across the room, would wipe her out.
But her death, just weeks later, came as a shock.
If I showed you the text on the day that she passed, on January 12th, it was, hey, bring me 3 extra pairs of PJs, the one with the palm trees and the little doggies on them. I don't know how much longer I'll be in here. That was at 6:30 on the 12th.
Her lungs declined that day, and Debbie could no longer breathe.
She ended up dying at 4 o'clock that afternoon.
The way Debbie left the earth that day was the way she lived, with Mike by her side, guiding their way.
What should I do? I said, I think you should go be with God. That's what I said. Then she pointed at her port.
Wow.
And they came right over and they administered, a syringe of morphine into her. And she closed her eyes, and I took the cannula off of her face, and she looked beautiful. And within about a minute, took her last breath.
Once again, it was time for Debbie to soar on her own.
It kind of reminds me of how you guys were co-pilots together.
Yeah,
that's
a good point.
You're guiding the plane. She's sitting next to you for 44 years, and when it's time for her to make this life-altering decision, she wants to know what her co-pilot thinks.
Wow. I like that. It's nice.
Debbie's legacy lives on. Mike visits her nearly every day at the cemetery. When the chimes sound, she is there. Mike ran the Race for the Cure last year in Debbie's pink wig, and they both empower women with a love for flying in her name, with a foundation and scholarship, the Debbie Franceus Memorial Aviation Foundation.
She would be thrilled because that was her mission. Her mission was to get more women flying.
Hello! Wow! I made it!
I guess you did.
And now, the Race for the Cure is in memory of his co-pilot.
She's saying, I can't believe you're doing all this in my honor. Number one, I'm mad at you over that because I'm not as great as you're making me look. And I would say to her, you're way wrong. You are that great. You're so great, you didn't even realize it. And I get the opportunity now to bring your greatness out to the world.
What's your name, ma'am? Just an amazing look back at the life of Debbie Franceus, and we are so excited now to be joined by her husband Mike and their daughter Casey. Thank you guys for being here. Kaylee, it's just been amazing to hear that story and just how they're here today in memory of Debbie.
Yeah, we know Mike was telling us, he felt Debbie there. Obviously, we know she's here with him in the picture, in the wig. But what was it like running the 5K today and just feeling her? We know both of you said that you did.
Well, Well, I got to tell you, it was amazing because, having her here was really special. Having mini me, Casey, Debbie right here. She is so much like her mother, and we actually stopped at one of the intersections and we danced, and we just had a ball together. So, but we knew she was there watching, and I'm doing this not only for her, I'm doing this for all the women that have lost their lives, all the survivors that have cheered each other on, that are continuing to fight, and I'm doing it for Komen. Raising money for Komen is probably one of the best things I've done, and this is my first year doing it. We have a foundation for Debbie, for the scholarship, for the Aviation Foundation, but switching gears and raising money for cancer, this is where I belong.
And Casey, has it brought you strength to see all these other families out here and other survivors too, in memory of your mom?
Oh, absolutely, because my mom would be out here absolutely just so thrilled for these women who have fought and won their battle and who are out here advocating for other women, because as we saw, she's such an advocate for women in aviation. She was an advocate for women in breast cancer too, so I'm just so happy to be out here and represent that spirit for her.
And she was here originally, she participated in the Race for the Cure because of another family member, right?
That's right, my great-grandmother, Grandma Nana, we called her. She had breast cancer and survived, and so we were always running for her, and my mother-in-law is also a breast cancer survivor ×2, so we're out here for her too. Yeah.
What would Debbie say if she were here seeing all of these people today?
I wish I could be here to run with you, is what she would say, because she just loved this. Every year I would watch her on the phone raising money for her team, Team Debbie, and she would just be loving to be here with all of us. And we know she's here in spirit, but she would have loved to have been on the pavement with us.
And she wore that wig too, which is what you're wearing today.
She wore this wig every year, and I will continue to don this wig no matter how bad I look in it. I don't care. This is part of her DNA now on me. So.
Well, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate you telling Debbie's story and being here, and this year's top fundraiser.
Yeah. Hey, how'd that work?
Congratulations for that.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, we'll be right back with our live coverage here.
Welcome back. We have live team coverage on WTOL 11 once again of this 31st edition of the Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure. I'm Jeff Smith along with Kaylee, Mare, and Ted. We wanted to kind of set the stage for this last few minutes we get to spend with you of what has been a moving day once again. We've got Kaylee Bowers, Dan Cummins, Megan Hartnett, but we're going to check in right now with Kaylee Bowers first and foremost. Kaylee, take it away.
Jeff, good morning. Yes, right now we are live here at the corner of North Summit and Washington. So many wonderful people out here this morning. We had the walkers coming in, all the cheerleaders, so many different schools out here supporting the survivors, supporting the families, and this has been a wonderful day. Weather-wise also hasn't been terrible as well. We'll be seeing the mostly cloudy skies not only for this morning, but for the rest of the day as well. And like we mentioned, we have live team coverage across the area. Let's check in with Megan Hartnett. Megan?
Kaylee, one of the big things today has been community and support, and that's what we got here. We have 14 people supporting Karen, who's a survivor. How are you feeling?
Pretty good. Thank you.
It's been a great day. We're going to get a check in with Dan now and see what he's up to.
What struck me today was with the walkers, just randomly talking to walkers, and just two people I talked to. One was carrying a photograph of her daughter who died from breast cancer, and another woman who has family going through cancer. So everybody here has a story. What a great day it's been. Tim, Kaylee?
All right, Dan, thanks so much. We are right here at the finish line. Lots of people coming through.
Right.
We want to give a shout out real quick to Marla, 8-year survivor of cancer.
There are so many great stories this morning. I got chills earlier when the Survivor Walk was about to start, and now just seeing people come through at the end, what a moment. What a day.
What a great race it's been, too. Let's check in with Jeff and Kaylee.
Hey, thanks, guys. We are wrapping up another successful Susan G. Komen race. We appreciate you joining us here for this coverage, and we will see you back here next year.